evening, judges. My name is Millen Teo, and I am turning 13. Yeah, I am 13 this year. My company name is Otadia. It is an online ebook shop with a library, with an online e-library combined to make Otadia. The problem that can be a plan. I like libraries and bookshops a lot, like a lot. I literally have a stack of books right next to me right now. But now the problem in modern society is COVID-19 and all these other viruses that is still lounging in the air. So since like 2 years ago, ever since COVID-19 started, bookshops and libraries, they've all been closing down, like no more. So that's why I suggest an online e-library with an e-book shop. The value proposition that we're trying to get is main customers should be bookworms like me, students and children, because parents are going to eventually force their children to read. So it is a very good plan. For the unique benefit, you don't need to waste petrol to go to the bookshops and libraries, because I know my mom always bashes me for wasting petrol because of that. You can stay away from people because you do not want to get COVID. Because if you get COVID, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff in school, and everyone's gonna fill you in school, and they're like, "Oh my God, you missed like 7 fights at school," and then you'll be like, "Okay, I wish I didn't get COVID." And then the cheap prices, because it doesn't need paper to be printed, and you can stay connected with the authors that you love. How it works? Basically, you will log in the homepage. You can choose whether you want to go to the bookshop or to the library. If you choose the library, you will choose books to borrow. You can scroll through a variety of books and you can fill in a form, and then the books will get sent to your profile. But if you choose bookshop, you can buy the books, and then the books will also get sent to your profile, and then you can read the book itself, log out and log in. It's basically just an endless cycle. The money-making scheme. Basically, how we will make money is from the bookshop function. The bookshop function is basically like it's quite self-explanatory. You basically buy books from the bookshop. The bookshop is linked to the publishers and authors of the book, so then it will be easier for functionality. The marketing plan. So since social media is very big in the modern society, it will definitely gather a lot of people. As well, billboards, because nowadays people are starting to go out more, but not as much. Like staying in their car, going to like get food, come back, eat. And then we have sponsorships, because people would definitely watch their favorite YouTuber or like Twitch streamer or anything like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, they recommended this. I need to try this out." So yeah, and then we have flyers, even though flyers are quite basic, which is why we're not going to use that as much. Competition is basically real life bookstores and libraries, because they are still doing good despite COVID and all, which is surprising to say the least. How can we beat libraries and bookstores? Even though there's no major advantage of going to a library or bookstore, or no major disadvantage, people nowadays don't find reasons to not exit their house, because you stayed at home for so long and now you don't want to go out anymore. So it's basically self-explanatory, which is, using that sense, an online library or bookshop would be better and much easier and more easy to go for. So that you don't need to get up from your bed, go downstairs, or just walk out your apartment, go into your car, start up your car, waste petrol, like I said again, and get a book and then come back and then read the same thing, or just read a library. What happens to the money earned? The money earned would probably go back into investing back into the application to make it better and have more benefits in the app. 80% would go back to the publishers and authors, while 20%, like I said, will go back into investing and investing back into the app. It is important to make sure that the majority of our readers will be satisfied with our app. Why I thought of this idea? I think that reading is really underrated nowadays. It used to be very popular before COVID started, but after COVID started, people started gaming and they stopped reading books, which is why. And those writers that took many, many months, some even years, to publish those books are really underrated, and I think they deserve more recognition. an online bookshop and library would be good for small writers as well, because some small writers, they write really good books, but they don't get enough recognition in the big world, which is why I think that this online library and bookshop would be good recognition for them, as well as a good income of money. Thank you for listening.
All right, good job. All right, thank you, Millen. Now can we please have the judges 7 minutes to please give the Q&A to Millen?
Hey Millen, I really love the way you're so passionate about reading again. I'm definitely going to get Yanhua and you to talk to my son. And honestly, I just love your unique style of presenting so clearly. Congratulations. Now,
thank you.
One of the things that you talked about was, there's really no advantage of going to a library. But for older people like myself, will remember how library was a great place for social interactions, and nothing beats that human interface. But you do make a very important point that during the pandemic and when people don't have access to those libraries, an e-option is great. But my question was, are your competitors really the physical bookstores and the physical libraries, or actually all the different e-retailers out there that are selling books?
No, because there is a difference in our app. Because I won't lie, I have like online e-library and online e-bookshops applications. But only thing is that they're different apps. Like this app focuses on libraries, and this app focuses on bookshops, and that it's not really that accessible. Like you have to go to this app, then you have to switch to the other app, and if you want to read 2 books at once, it's not convenient, which is why I think once you combine those 2 apps together, it will make a good plan.
Great, thank you. You clearly have thought this through from your own personal experience, and that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my question as well, is how does your app compare to other apps that are already available, or obviously say like Kindle or e-reading platforms? I'm not totally understanding what's the unique selling point between your app compared to what's out there already. Can you help me understand that?
Like I said before, basically apps they focus on there's few online apps that they focus straight on no purchases. Basically those online e-libraries, they focus on subscriptions. They will give advertisements throughout the chapters, and they will be watch this ad and continue the page, or they'll show a page called purchase subscription for 1 month for a good selling price, and then after that, then that's how they earn money. And for bookshops, they just focus all on selling the books. So in our app, for libraries, they are free, but only thing is that the books on there would be linked to real libraries. We would scan all the books there, and then we would put it online, and it's a little bit more outdated, but the new books that is in the bookshop would be better because it's more it's written more earlier.
Cool, thank you.
Hi Millen, I've written a lot of books, 15 I think, so I'm interested to know, how are you going to fund your library? Because the way a library works, how are you going to fund your library? So the way a library works is a library buys books off an author and then lends books out. So it's not like a bookshop, for instance, an online bookshop like Amazon, where the author places his books there and then gets a percentage of sales, which I understand that model, but you're going to have to buy all the books to open your library first. So how are you going to fund that?
We are planning to collaborate with the libraries nearby me, because I earlier why I didn't came earlier was because I was actually at a library itself, which is why I didn't know what was going on, so I joined late, because I was planning to collaborate with my local library, which is just down the street. I walked there.
And how do you collaborate with them in terms of electronic books?
Basically, we would scan all the books and put it online.
Okay, so all right, so that's a massive task. Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
From me, well spoken, Millen.
All right. Thank you, Millen. Thank you so much.